I'm Dr. Hilary Pearson. I'm the medical director of the Pediatric Sleep Laboratory at Cook Children's Medical Center. And I got interested in pediatric sleep medicine because everybody sleeps. And I found it interesting that there could be a specialty and a medical practice for something that everybody does. Everybody should know how to do, I thought. Or do they? At our pediatric sleep laboratory at Cook Children's, we have rooms where we can place patients and their mothers or fathers, and we can study their sleep overnight to see if there are any problems with their breathing or the pattern of their sleep, or whether they have too many movements during sleep, or try to get to the bottom of what the problem with their sleep quality might be. Sleep is very important for the health of children for many reasons. Of course, we don't even really understand what sleep is for in all human and animal models. So it's hard to say exactly why sleep is so important for children, but certainly we know that it's much easier to regulate your emotions when you're well rested. So somebody is much less likely to be super angry all the time or just interested in joking during class instead of focusing on what they're doing. It's easier to focus on what they're supposed to be doing at school if they're well rested. It's also helpful for making your brain work properly. It's hard to focus on what your teacher is saying or what you're supposed to be processing on a worksheet if your brain isn't ready for the day of work. It's also easier if you are well rested to interact normally with other people, like your parents after school or like your brothers and sisters after school. So it's important for a whole host of reasons, but certainly those are most likely the most important. So the question of electronics before going to bed is definitely a big topic, and parents always ask sort of on the way out the door, hey, what do you think of using their switch before they go to bed? And I'm really not the person to be anti-television or anti-electronic readers or anti-video games for that matter. I think it's okay to play video games if you're above a certain age and for a certain number of hours on a day where you've done everything else that you're supposed to do, or if it's a reward for other behaviors. But I think the timing needs to be considered, and I think the amount of time should be considered. The problem with most of our electronics is that it emits light that goes into your eyeballs and tells a certain part of your brain that it's still daytime. So it's akin to being in the middle of the night but still having all the lights on in the house, and your brain doesn't receive the correct signals to then know it's bedtime or know it's time to try to start going to sleep. So to me, it's more of a problem of working on having a good night's sleep rather than saying this group of electronics is terrible for you.